It's random, it's dumb, it's a flyer.
Loud. This is Ryan Weisenberger.
Hi, my name is Ryan. I'm an addict. Sorry, wrong meeting. If there were more people here that knew me, I am still alive. So, anyway, sometimes I have problems with my circulation. Any of you guys ever have your arm fall asleep while you were scratching your balls? And then you realize like 15 minutes later that you're so stoned you're still staring out your patio window in your boxers, staring at your fucking neighbor, not really knowing exactly what to do at that point. So you just kind of back away and go and water your fish. Yeah, I water my fish, I don't feed them. So the other night my wife and I were in bed getting down, and she told me the mat's end chaser. So I went out to the shed and grabbed a football and threw it at her feet. She didn't really get it. So I Stafforded her. So I'm an Irish Jew with a German last name. So you can only imagine how holidays are since God's magic and all. So I was raised Catholic, but I was molested Lutheran. I wasn't an altar boy, so I guess I just wasn't all that appealing to the priest in school. You know how hard it is to get a fucking attention in school? Give me a break, man. I guess the guy sitting next to me had bigger movies than I did. Whatever. So sometimes I like to joke that I'm on Twitter, if any of you guys are on Twitter. I go by Random Deadhead, so if any of you guys are on Twitter, follow me on Twitter. I like to joke once in a while that I run an abortion clinic out of my shed. I really don't, it was only that one time. And that little fucker fought the whole way out. He was gonna be a little motherfucker. Any guys married in here? Lucky guy. So you don't know what the words blowjob mean either, do you? See, I don't understand. Like, ladies, this is all I have to say, okay? If you're gonna date a guy and you plan to marry him, and you know you're just gonna cut that shit out, just tell him the first time you start to fuck around with him. I got face raped once. I don't do that. We're good, man. We'll let it go. We'll never ask for it again. Any of you guys watch Nancy Grace? Dead babies in Florida. Casey Anthony. What a fucking hot little murderer. I would so knock the fucking murderer off that. I'm laying in bed the other night with my wife. My wife seems to think that I have this little man inside my head because the random shit just spurts out. So if you wonder why there's no real order to my set, it's because my brain doesn't work that way. It just kind of goes as I please. So I started talking about, what if we have a little man inside our body? Like, we all have jobs. Maybe there's little people, like a little man with a job in every little aspect of our body. Like there's a little dude every time you take a piss, and he's like, hurry the fuck up. And then there's a little dude every time you know, like, look at someone to work your eyes. You know, and then there's a little dude that shoots turd shuttles. How much does he make? Does he have insurance? I bet he's got better insurance than we do. Anybody ever wish they still had their umbilical cord? I like jump roping, dude. Can you imagine if we all still walked around with our fucking umbilical cords and that was our way of like, it was like our dick. When we walked around and we didn't have to show our dick, we were just like, what's up, man? How long's your shit? I got you. Drops on the floor. Is it a bad thing to tell a kid that I'm really glad you pulled through the abortion? He's like 7. I'm trying to figure out, man. I went to my friend's house the other day. I had no fucking clue that she had a kid. I used to fuck this girl like 7.5 years ago. I go over there and I'm like, who's this? Is this your neighbor's kid? Because he's not old enough to be your kid. She's like, no, that's Tyler. He's 7. I'm like, really? I thought you said that you had that taken care of. She's like, don't worry, he's not yours. And I did go to the clinic. They couldn't get him out of there. And I was like, does he know? She said, only when he looks in the mirror from the left side, because he sees this little scratch. I said, can they fix it? She said, not really. I just give him some makeup every morning, put it on. So any of you guys here got kids? I have a teenage daughter. I have a 15-year-old, beautiful little girl who's a sophomore in high school. Somebody please shoot me now. I love my daughter to death. If it wasn't for her, I probably would not be here. I told my daughter the other day that if she got knocked up, I was going to kill her during the first trimester because I wasn't buying 2 coffins. Fucking little coffins are so fucking creepy, dude. Have you ever seen that shit, man? They're all little. If you're under 3 feet and you die, you should just be pet food. I'm good with that. If I would have died when I was little, fuck it, dude, feed me to the wolves. Or the fish, fuck it, whatever. So I'm pretty much saying we as Americans are just addicted to eating shit. I mean, seriously, we go into the stores every day and buy the same shit over and over and over, and it's fucking awful. How many times have you gone to the store or been out with a buddy and you pull into the gas station, one of you's pumping gas, run inside and grab the newest bullshit product that's in this fucking case, stand there for a minute if you're stoned, whatever. Bring it out and you get in the car with your buddy. Your buddy's like, oh, is that good, man? You're like, I don't know, I haven't tried it yet. Pull away, open the bottle, and you're like, oh yeah, I heard this is good shit. Yeah. Take a big old swill of it, and you know inside this is the worst fucking thing I've ever tasted in my life. And you close it up, and your buddy's like, how is it? And you're like, oh man, that's all right, you want to try it? He's like, yeah. Then you give it to him. He fucking takes a swig, and you just watch his face. And as soon as he pulls the bottle on, you're like, tastes like shit, doesn't it? Wheatgrass. Fucking wheatgrass. Bullshit. Any of you guys here Penn State fans? Any of you guys here Penn State fans? No Catholics then? No coaches, I take it either then. Any players in here? Youth of the world is fucked, man. There is not a save app. There is no save my ass app. These kids all seem to think that they're gonna have the world by the balls, and whether this fucking world ends or not, they're all fucking screwed because none of these kids have an idea what it actually is to be responsible and not worry and not, everything's handed to them. Do you remember when we were kids and you heard that song and it was just like the greatest thing you ever heard and you didn't know who sang it, and then you found out from a buddy and you were like, oh dude, I found the name of this band. And so all you could do was search all over for this song, and that's all you did. And you didn't have internet to pop on and click and record and download and send to your buddy and tell them to listen to it so they could say, oh, that sucks. You went every fucking place you could, and you bought magazines, and you looked at records, and you looked through bullshit racks and racks of albums, until one day you finally ran into a girl that had the t-shirt of that band on. And that's how fucking relationships at last work. Seriously, man. All these kids on nowadays, it's 2 clicks, you give them a song, and they're like, oh yeah, that was all right. Talk to them the next day, and they're like, oh, did you hear that new song? I don't like them anymore. Oh. It's like my kid and fucking food. I love my kid to death, but oh my God. She is so much like me, it is fucking sick. This little girl sat there one night and decided she was gonna fucking throw a fit because she had a problem if things were browned a little bit too much. And I made meatballs with spaghetti. Pre-cooked fucking meatballs with spaghetti. Now, if anybody knows how to cook a meatball, if you don't brown that bitch, it ain't done. So we sit there and we start to eat dinner, and she starts, and I make sure I sauce that shit up good. And we sit down to dinner, and she sits there and she starts whining. Oh, they're burnt, they're burnt. Like, they're not burnt. They're burnt, they're burnt. Patience, they're not burnt. She proceeds to sit there and work herself so much up till she throws up in her plate. So now it's macaroni and cheese. Fuck meatballs. Anybody been to Arby's lately? I went to Arby's the other day and asked for beef and cheddar, and they gave me the finger. I asked them for some extra sauce. If any of you guys didn't get that joke, in Michigan, at an Arby's, this fucking employee cut their finger off, then proceeded, after they cut their finger off, to manage to send it through the drive-thru. How fucking lazy of a manager do you have? Do the words shut down not cross your mind when there's blood on your fucking slicer and probably in the package your sandwich is in? I don't know. Some people like bleeders, I guess. Twilight. Fucking glowing skin. I won't even get into Twilight. When we were young, we had Anne Rice. Interview with the Vampire. Lestat and Louis would have killed him, dude. So are you guys, any of you guys on Twitter at all? I've got a couple of my favorite tweets here from some other people.
Show us your tweets.
$5. And a reach around. So this one's from Big Gay Ferris Wheel, aka the Sodomy Clown. I'm gonna get all serious on this one because it's poetry. It really is poetry. Haters gonna hate. Masturbators gonna bait. Prostators gonna prostate. And Middleton gonna key. What the fuck is the world coming to? This one's from Kevin, aka the Unibagger, sorry. He said, I just watched a movie from the 80s, and I thought the nude woman was wearing fur panties. And then I remembered pubic hair. And then I remembered pubic hair, and I was like, what the fuck is that shit? I forgot all about that. Shape that shit. This one's from a buddy of mine, he goes by MLKEF. And he's got a real good point. We were talking about, rock bottom. And he got me on this one. You would definitely not reach rock bottom until you've been declined for a Walmart credit card. Other than if BMG or Columbia House is still after you. I had racks and racks of free CDs. Anybody that had music or is over the age of 30 knows exactly what I'm talking about. I think condoms should have baby faces on them so that every time a 16-year-old kid decided he was going to try to fuck my daughter, he was like, oh, I might have a baby and I might get shot. And he was be right. I love it when you're talking to somebody and they tell you, you can only imagine. In the middle of the story, they're all like, you can only imagine this. Of course, it's a fucking story, not a photo book. Women are so unpredictable at times. I tell you. You'd think by now that they would come up with a vaccine for PMS. I mean, seriously, I'm about to put my wife up in stirrups myself and get to scraping. Be a whole lot of scraping going on. I mean, seriously, why is it when you get in an argument with your wife or your significant partner, sorry, I had a couple too many, that you break your own shit? See this right here? This is my own shit. I was in an argument and I set an ashtray down, supposedly. I was told by the ashtray after it shattered in my hand that I had not set it down. That I had now put it mostly the fucking way through my finger. And my house told the story of a murder from the look of it because it was all over my house before I knew it. But I really want to thank you guys for coming out. This is my first time. You guys have been great. In closing, I want to close it. Why do men not like to fuck with women in the morning?
I don't know.
You ever try to open a grilled cheese?